Right. So, 10 boxes. There's my list of what we're still left to find. Haven't hit a single hook, which is definitely rough since it's, the legendary that seems to be completely applicable to all three, right? Maybe Puffin a little bit less. Oh, I'm knocking this way too much. And then basically just, filler Majestics. I end up pulling 2 Codexes, so one more I probably won't mind, right? Having a playset of the High Seas Codexes. Even if I personally, don't super enjoy the art, right? But aside from that, I don't know. Maybe we get lucky. Maybe we pull something exciting. But it's not there. I'm happy enough to just basically get full playsets of all the Majestics. Hey, Marta. Beautiful Cancer Stream. Not. No, yes. As someone affected by cancer. It's very lovely to see. So, good work on that. Not personally. I'm not affected by cancer. Obviously, a loved one has been affected by cancer, sadly. But, alas, let's clear my desk that I just set up because, well, I need room to crack. Oh, God. Start with Gravy since he's the odd man out, right? He gets 2 Gravies a case. Interestingly, I thought it'd be mixed. Alright. Do we do the gold packs as we go, or do we just save them all for the end? Probably do the first one, right? Kick it off with a gold pack. And then we'll do the remainder 9 at the end of it. I mean, Marvel's crossboard, not that I'm collecting the allies, but some of them would be nice too, I suppose. Probably keep the box, put the comments in straight away. Alright. See what the first gold pack of the day has. A nice, easy snip. Don't wreck anything inside. Alright. Puzzle piece. Nice compass skull, right? But I have to move over because of the list. Alright, it is the Gold Kiss Rum. I mean, that's a decent start, right? And then common, but commons aren't so bad, right? It is. Apparently, this is about the only common I can actually pull, because yeah, I already have 2 others. At least it does seem like the most playable Cold War common, though. So I guess that's nice. But the rum is definitely cool. So we sleeve things as we go. And then on to the packs. We'll try to do it speedily. Again, we're basically just after the Majestics. And then anything, of Marvel or 2. It's about, well, it was 160, right? So should get at least 1 Marvel a case. Alright. There we go. Just instinctive to try and manhandle the top. So it's the back. Basically junk. I'll put them straight in the box. We'll speed up once I get into the feel of things, right? Swift Shot Ball is not bad, right? Beautiful card in the extended from the gem pack. I think it's probably personal taste, but I like the gem pack cards this time around more so than the hunted. Nada. I'm actually surprised I'm only missing 2 expansion slot cards as well. 1 Herald and sadly 2 Coastline. We should be able to hopefully find them relatively easily. It would be a shame if there's a lot left on that little list, right? By the time we're through, Oh, there's a sea legs. That's not one needed. That's a foil, so one back. Return fire, right? Do I need to return fire? I did. Beautiful. Already one off the list. That is nice. Let's just make sure to delete it, so when I look up, I don't notice it. So, return fire. Beautiful. Foil sea legs. And just go in the foil pile. But still 2 Majestics is nice. Leave, what, like 27-ish cards? Still to hit. And a sticky fingers. Oh, bobble harpoon or something better. Harpoon. And still think the foiling in this is just beautiful. I cheekily cracked a Welcome to Rathe box, and it is a stark contrast going back through older set foils and then looking at foils nowadays, right? This is just, that's fantastic. I mean, I do very much like this crazy brew, but the foiling just, you know, a bit more blanketed, right? Less apparent versus just the gorgeousness of it, getting everything just exactly right, right? Back away. Oh, that, nothing in that pack. Alright. Oh, Escalate Bloodshed. Not something that's needed. But still, extras are nice. Maybe they'll come out with a warrior that benefits greatly from Escalate. But it is a miss, right? Just, it's not good value. Oh. Marvel? I think that's a Marvel poking through. Alright, Spore the Ship, Jittery Bones, and a Swabby. I think Swabby's a decent one, right? Definitely looks cool. Alright, so that is our first one in 60. And we're doing what? 240, so we should hit 4 Marvels, given the rates. Guess he can go there. They're a bit easier to, you know, get the full numbers of. I probably would go for them, but I pulled 2 whalers, so I wouldn't mind just like a page of whalers. That'd be kind of cool. And no expansion slots. Also, if we see a copper cog, I need to pull them out. They are not upticked in rate, it seems. So they are kind of annoying to find. Although it's still a question of whether or not they compete with some of the other mech items. Expansion. A bit light on the Majestics in the first box. Fiddler's Walk. Compass. But, oh, that's nothing. I was actually thinking about Marlon's ability. If it was create the Goldfin Harpoon in either your hand or arsenal, you think that'd be too crazy? I think the big dilemma she has is just she wants so much gold, keep everything functional and online, which makes it just a big easy thing for your opponent to disrupt. Ooh. Bubble this time. Oh, but we did get M. That's nice. Ah, Moray. there we go. That's another one we did have to hit. I find it very weird that I have not pulled any of her. Actually, I might have pulled one or two. Because I have gotten rid of a few gravy cards pretty quickly. And everyone just is invested in gravy overall. Yet I've also, at the same time, done really nicely finding a lot of them back. Only one with no quarter missing. Not any allies. Though Charm does appear like somewhat difficult to actually find. Tip the Barkeep. I think that's another one. So this is just... Oh, and an acquisition, which we don't need. But this is a great box to start with in terms of this list. Alright, I think that's about done for Majestics. But you never know. There's something else lurking. Not in this one. I mean, we're only at 5 non-foil. There could be one more Majestic. I can give no quarter. There's another one crossed off the list. Easy peasy. The amulets, I think, are going to be the tough one. But it is nice to have the Diamond Amulet done. But Ruby's going to be a bit rough. And Opal's the opt, so I think that's the other tricky one. When I say tricky, as in, like, the most desirable out of the lot. But still, for the first box, hitting, what, 3, 4 cards that I needed? Definitely good with that. Alright, so Swabby. I want to do this. I might just put the box up to the side. Now, we didn't hit any mech cards, so I guess we'll do mech first. Necro first. Anyway, I'll keep them somewhat organized. That's pirates. That's generic. And the expansion slot can just go up there, right? Because again, just Herald and Cosign that we want from the actual expansion slot. On that, we're fine. That's why I can just put them straight to the groupings that they're a part of. And keep the box and packs outside. Alright, so I think we'll stockpile the gold packs now. Keep them off to the side. We will crack the remaining 9 all at once. Alright. Not starting off with a bang. That's fine. I have to take the packs out because I need a box to put the cards in. I'll do. Might end up just cutting a few and building a nice big pile for us to just easily go through. It's not too difficult. Just take the back 5 cards, right? No, you just take the back 4 cards, right? So if I do 1, 2, 3, 4, that should be the M, the foil if we get anything. And then we could just go through it as one big pack, potentially. I think it's better this way. So, Nada. Or Rusty Harpoon. Although again, the gem pack outshines it. I would like a Puffin Marvel as well. I do plan to play Puffin as well as Marlin. Other Sea Legs. Sea Legs is by far my most pull cut. I think that's like 9 copies now. I mean, we'll look through everything at the end. But hopefully the right brute set comes out. Nada. Although I keep thinking that, right? And then the rationale is when we get a brute set, all the new brutes will have tap. In which case, then Gold Kiss Rum is arguably worse. Unless, you know, the Golden Prostitutes drastically outshines whatever their actual mechanic is. Another Whaler. Not the ally we need. Bunch of him too. Minus touch. Also not needed. That's something that could be fun in the future. I think as long as they don't give Dromai, like, if he gets a, you know, another set of dragons, or something else, as long as they don't have costs, and they stay as the invoke flip. Ash flip. What is the... No, it's invoke, right? On the dragon sword. Then my touch is nice. Alright. Half down. Give me a chum. Nope. Cosine? Actually, I guess the King Sharks, since I do want to play Marlin. Fast G, but nothing else. Alright, start up. We haven't hit an expansion slot in this box, have we? Not in that pack. Or that one either. This box is looking a little short. I do also want to hit Riches, since Riches slots into a ton of decks. Melody, for me. But, you know, we don't. That's kind of more unlikely than anything else on that list. Quite the dry number of packs. Maybe we'll hit the triple. No. Yeah. So a normal, a foil, normal majestic, and then an expansion majestic. The foil expansion majestic show up in the expansion slot, right? I'll take it. That gives me one of each EA. Here's a cool looking card. I don't know if that makes up for... We hit 3 Majestics so far, right? Whaler, Midas, and a Sealex in this box. But, so, good for that. Oh, and another Conquerors. I have way too many Conquerors, in all honesty. Like, spare. I mean, this is my spare pile. I have 3 in there. And then 1, 2, 3. Plus the foil one, which will be at the top here. So 5 Conquerors spare. I've almost hit 1 every other box, basically. Plus I sold 2 already. Alright, surely this one's an expansion slot card. Nope. Yeah, this box has definitely been on the low end of M's. 4 in total? Plus the EA. But thank God, salvage. Cosine. That means I need 1 more. Which is beautiful. The list is definitely thinning out. Alright, another gold pack off to the side. It's box number 3. Not stunned with anything though. Probably shuffle up the packs. Oh. Spent slot or not? Not. Always not. Oh, but there is an M. And is a foil cog in the machine, which I'm not going to count because, truth be told, I don't like foils. Although, they're growing on me. Again, they're looking nicer and nicer each set. But we'll put that in the foil pile, and we won't count that as my one for play. I'm still looking for another cog in the machine. Fiddlers, monkey powders. Next arrow attack, this turn gets +1 and overpowered draw cards. So it's nice with the harpoon, except for the fact that, you know, you want to use your cannon overpower. Suppose sending 2 overpower harpoons, a gold fin and then a proper one, would actually be nice, although that's quite the costly turn still, though. No. To be 24, 48, 72. We're not due for another Marvel just yet. Dovetail? Don't think I need a Dovetail. Nope, not on the list. I'll be due a Legendary soon as well. I suppose Poly I'm also looking for, since I have the Marvel Poly and I don't have the Rainbow Foil. But just for collecting's sake. One of each. But really, just, please, a gold-baited hook. Sunken Treasure, not needed. Right? Yeah, just all the others. Nada. So the cards I'm looking to pull are the list right to the side. Right. There. That's everything that I'm still looking for to complete playsets. So, pedantically. I think I have Jolly and Foil, Planetarian and EA, Cognitive Chain is Foil now. Charm or Ray, they don't come as Foil. King Shark definitely still need both. Gold to Tips, been awful. Sawbones Marvel, though, it's the second one. Maybe I go for one of each? One of each actually doesn't seem too bad, maybe, for a nice page. Problem is the awkwardness as well, because it's 15, right? I suppose you put it in a 4x4 folder and you have one slot for Gravy himself. I guess that's not too bad. If we pull a Gravy Marvel, it might do that. Nada. So I think that puts me at 4 allies, so trying to fetch 11, plus, you know, we should get 2. Yeah, 2 Marvels and an EA so far. 3 boxes in is pretty nice. Copper Cog. Single Copper Cog, though. So rough. Always feels like it should have been a basic. I suppose they didn't want a ton of them for the limited. And Conquerors kind of just trades into the lesser Marvels. And that might be the go. I definitely can be collecting full playsets. So kudos to those who want a fully blinged Gravy deck. Burn Bear, not needed. Got there. Not been keeping track of the Majestics this box. 3, 4, I think. Maybe one more or so. Like Return Fire. They needed another Return Fire, we're already done. But it's still a nice one out for Ranger. It's such a disgusting card. The only other insanity to it would be if they made it a defense reaction. So luckily, it's just a block. Alright, 2 backs left. Maybe one more Majestic. Oh, almost left a card still in the back. But they were there. Good comments. Alright, it is a chum, which is 1 for the list. That's beautiful. So just 2 morays and 1 chum left to find. The chum is the impactful one, right? Moray doesn't get taken. Hopefully we find 1 more chum. And nada. But so far, 1 big fuller box, which is really nice. Alright. So this is our 4th box. So identically, this should be the legendary. Granted, I misorganized. Done 3 puffin boxes in a row. Come on, gold-baited hook. Put the Cogs somewhere else. Weird. I've heard that hook seems very, very current overseas. But it's been really hard to pull here in Australia. I'm really hoping there's one. Fool's Gold. Acquisition. Also a ton of acquisitions. It's just the quality card, right? Not horrible, but it's not great. It's just good, right? Maybe we continue with an item trend. Oh, Pink Shark, that's gorgeous. That's 1 for the list. And a foil Fool's Gold. There's so much discard in the set that it almost feels sort of equivocal to the Fable. Almost. Obviously, it's still just awful to have in your hand. Pink Shark, 1 more to find. Almost down to full ones. The golden tip that's boring me. That also seems like one of the really impactful cards, being a yellow +3. But one that I have had extreme difficulty finding, apparently. Heave-ho. Off to work we go. Alright, there's 1 at least. That's how much I'm craving it. It's foil, though. Not gonna count it. If I have to, though, I will. I just want non-foil playsets. It is a nice card in foil, though. And with the gold pouring. Oh. But I love Australian internet. Fiber will be common one day. And then good fiber a few years after that. Alright, nada. Nada. Oh, favorite game. Harpoon, Bobble, or Expansion. Harpoon. Harpoons are pretty common. No. Another sea legs. God. There's 3 right there. And an escalate. Escalate will be fun for UPF though. You can cross-table banter. Who me? Who wants a free extra card? There must be some cool like team combos at this point, surely. There's some really fun interactive cards. Hoping there's some cool generics in the Guardian stuff as well. Because the UPF events, get what they're called, also look really fun. Hopefully that stays as a running thing. Just thematically, we get, you know, new event series over and over. Alright, so there's our cog in the machine. Okay, because I'm picky. That's another one crossed off the list. And smaller. The nice thing is, there's what if we just hit one of them. We're good. Oh. Should be an expansion slot by this time, right? Nope, still not. Just another Harpoon. No. Oh. This one has to be a bubble then. Yeah. Means the next one should be an expansion slot card. Alright. Rules of 3. I mean, we'll take it. So many conquerors. I mean, it's what, it's like a third of the box? Around that? So it's definitely a really nice card to pull. Alright. Oh, I'm gonna say bubble again. No! I shouldn't have second guessed it. There's the Herald, though. That's another one down. We just have to find cosine. And we're good. On the expansion slot, that is. Oh! Actually, I haven't pulled a single one of them that I completely forgot about them. So, what number is it? Does it go before or after cosine? It goes before cosine. I actually, well, technically you don't. I'm definitely not going to say you need 3, but we'll say you need 2. Vincera. There we go. I do actually need one more of them. But ideally, that's just your sideboard for single, right? Instead of a third kunai. Our second copper cog in 4 boxes. Also, no owl yet, unfortunately. Alright, we're on to the Marlin boxes. Yes, a ton of boats. That's 6 extra copies of boats at this point. Which I guess is cool that I don't have to take them out of each deck I make. I'm not big on alt language cards, unfortunately. Plus, I do have other codexes. If need be. It's just for the matching set. Got it. Alright. Speaking of codex. Damn it. Just a bubble. Gotta give no quarter. Do I still need to give no quarter? Do I need... No, it's just the allies. It's just Chum and Moray at this point. Right? Yeah. I mean, Spare Give No Quarter is also really nice, right? Because it's kind of an expensive card at the moment. Which is weird, because it doesn't have that many decent targets, does it not? I mean, it's mainly there to juice up Whaler. I guess Whaler and Chum. I suppose. Just getting 2 allies out for free. Well, Limpet's free, because my mentality, any, big ally turn is always just Limpet, swing, another ally. Bam, bam. I don't know, I haven't looked into the gravy too much. I think it's more than a boat at the moment, or close to it. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. But Whaler is just so impactful. Because he's such a good fatigue weapon, in a sense. So your opponent has to clear him, which means he's also just a ton of extra life. Harpoon. And nada. Oh, another dovetail. We're getting a decent spread, though. The only one sort of lagging behind is, well, I guess no. No, we are just getting a decent spread. Alright. Half down. Just looking for an L at this point. Fool's Gold and nothing. Also nothing. So I really like this, backing. I wish they did that for the adult heroes. I know some people kind of wish the adult heroes were just single-sided as well. But to have the little tooltip. And for each class, just like a brief explanation. Obviously that's there simply because when was the last time we focused on arrows? So for new players to God damn it. For new players to understand that they have to be played from Arsenal is a big thing. So that's the gold the tip playset. If I count the foils and a surface shaking. I'm gonna have to count foils towards the playsets. Another return fire. Decent Ranger cards back to back. Into another. Hoping we just hit a string of boxes with legendaries at this point. That's the only thing we're a little light on. Also, oh, speaking of which, a normal poly. Not as gorgeous as the Marvel, but it will do. So, technically speaking, now it's just gold-baited hook, and then we've pulled every legendary. With gold-baited hook being the big one. I would have played proper decks at my last armory. I had one. to slot in. There's just not enough copies to go around, even borrowing. Blood in the water. I'm surprised they didn't actually do block interaction, right, in this set, let alone more defense reaction. No, mainly block, because you have all the mech blocks, you have ranger blocks, you have the normal pirate blocks. There's another marble. Just tuck that away for a second. Kelpie. Oh, we are hitting different ones, which is nice. Maybe if I get over halfway to the marbles. But yeah, block interaction would be interesting. Alright. Where is that now? That is halfway. We're halfway. Cool, we're making good time. But we're still hookless. And amuletless. We haven't seen a single amulet either. My mentality would be they would only be about 50% short printed, because there's no rainbow foil. It kind of seems like they're more short printed. We've almost cycled around almost every other majestic, right? What are we missing? We're missing Jolly and Goldens. Missing the amulets. We're missing Lone Shark. And fire. We're missing the other Harpoon and Barb Barrage. And then I think we've hit everything. Give no quarter. Line the water. Chart. We haven't hit a chart yet. I assume so. Because it does seem like focally they are hitting their stride with block, if you will. There wasn't, like, they were just okay cards. In fact, some of the times they were not okay cards. It being, you know, something you can't put in your arsenal, so it's not that free extra block card. And then it doesn't have the dynamicism of something you can actually play. But then we get, you know, Sunken Treasure, all the other block interaction. So it seems like they are figuring out what exactly they do want to do with block, and abilities like Ambush would be the general idea. We're only halfway in terms of the packs. Riches would be nice as well. Considering, yeah, no, I haven't bought any Fables that I own. Just collected them from pulling. I'm missing Light of Soul. There's one other I haven't pulled either. I can't remember. But it would be very nice to grab to find a riches. That's unfortunate. Like, no big pulls at all? Surely you would have got a marble or two, right? But the gold packs, you know, being a big portion of the box and then just having a whole ton of misses definitely does attribute to that. And we are getting the majestic skewing as well. Because, well, similar to Arachne, although I guess from a worse stance, everyone's just going into Gravy, so Gravy's gonna, you know, end up like Assassin with all the new cards, rather than, you know, a good portion split between Marlin and Puffin. Because they're good, and I have lots of fun tinkering with the both of them, but obviously they're not steamrolls out of the gate like other sets have been. Whereas Gravy does appear be very, very dynamic. I did play the Armory deck. Biggest issue with it is 60 cards is not enough. But aside from that, it was very, very fun in the sense that you could go from, you know, just setting up allies to having a big wide turn with like the Jittery Bones, Restless Bones, and then an ally on top of that, to then, if you really wanted, a very, very big turn as well. Which just seems insanely flexible, along with, you know, board states and 40 HP. I mean, Tip the Barkeep's kind of cool as a treasure pack card. But it is definitely the lesser of the Majestics, right? But yeah, I think the treasure packs definitely need tweaking. Like, it's just comparative to, you know, the normal box rates of hitting a common cold foil, let alone, you know, when we had rares, Majestics, and then of course legendaries. Yeah, definitely really, really rough with the high number of pirate cards. And I mean, having them harder to pull for people who want, you know, a full set of gold cards could have been cool. Oh, that's one, right? I need a ruby? Yeah, beautiful. Alright, there's our first amulet in the 5th or 6th. This is the 6th box. So 6 boxes to hit 1 amulet so far. Let me cross it off the list. Promo-wise, God, where did I put them? Yeah, I do have them in reach. Beautiful. So only 2 of my boxes, or 2 of my cases, were from a store, like in person. So Scuba and Shelly were the buy box promos. And Spitfire from pre-release. As a rainbow foil. All the rest were ordered online, because, well, pre-orders were nuts. I do like that you have that second tier of EA, especially with the 3 Majestics in the gem pack. Is really cool. Although my mentality then is I like when you have like 3 different arts. So for instance, if I were to put together a proper gravy deck, I suppose it'd be the normal, the EA, and then the Marvel would be my attempt. Especially because then, like, give it a quarter, you have normal, rainbow foil, and micro text. But in saying that, I'm not interested in gravy. It's just all 3 of these heroes seem fun to me. Just gravy seems bottom of that. So definitely want to play around with Harpoons and Death Dealer. And then Cogs, which Copper Cogs also seem like a pain in the ass to pull. That's our 3rd one as well in 6 boxes. There'll probably just be a lot of tinkering with Puffin and Marlin, and no time for gravy. Because then when the Mastery Pack comes out, probably jump ship to Velda for a bit. And if we end up getting an adult version of the new Bravo, I guess I'll give him a go as well. So that's a bit more up in the air. I suppose they wouldn't want to, you know, print an adult Bravo until other Bravo's on. Then it just feel like just complete power creep. That's sidelining. Burn Bear foil. So I've hit a Arcane Compliance foil, which is one foil I would like to see because it looks like it'd be a really beautiful card. Oh, this one's a bit. Okay, that's not coming apart. Not without, you know, damaging the cards. Counter on top. Oh, Preach Modesty. Also really lovely art. Nada. Honestly, the one wish is just that we find a hook today. Not a hook. And nada. Yes, I am quite fortunate. I had a stockpile of credit from MTG still. So I think that's the last of it. Pieced out my mono black deck. It's like the last remnants of MTG that I was holding on to. In total, I got 8 cases, which is definitely very, very fortunate. Only one actually cancelled. So it would have been 10, but one saw. Rightfully so, and I'm completely on board with it. As long as this is actually the reason. Cancelled the order because they wanted to prioritize selling to the people in-store as well. I've not hit a amulets or anything in the gold packs. We're saving the gold packs till the end. We pulled a unicycle off the first one. That's the only thing. But we'll do the 9 left at the end. And hopefully we hit something. And by something, most likely what I mean is just a hook. Because that's all I really, really want. I like not having to go out of my way to find cards, in all honesty. I hit, yeah, previously, outside of this 10, I've hit a coffin. That poly got me doing it. And this is from the other gold pack. So poly and Cogworks tinkerings were the big two. Aside from that, just a bunch of commons, which is nice. I'd prefer the commons to the actual pirate cards, I feel. And then, yeah, just a bunch of tokens. Alright. I've messed this up. That goes there. The game trophy shop goes there. Definitely. Oh, you know what I really should have done? The cards actually needed, I should have put on this pile, which is the actual playsets of cards. Because I've been deleting them from the list, so I can't quite remember what needs to be taken out and what's extra. You want to see a better pool? Stop spoiling this. Oh. I couldn't help myself. I watched a bunch of treasure pack vids to try and get an idea of the numbers, so I had to crack something juicy, and I cracked a Watery Graves box. And yeah, double cold foil, crazy brew foil, a strike normal, and then a tectonic. It was definitely really, really nice, considering it was just a loose bare box. Oh, Pearl Amulets. Now this is actually really fortunate that we are hitting amulets, and they are amulets I actually need. Alright, so that's another down. Which leaves just the Onyx and Opal and Sapphire. Onyx is the tap, Opal is the opt, and Sapphire is the intellect, so Sapphire is a really good one. Or the exciting one, I should say. Marvel Prism. I know Mask, a Bravo, the Library, Gianna. I was pulled? I don't think I've seen or heard the Prism having been pulled yet. I'm surprised there's not like a running list or something on like the Reddit. I'm sure there is in one of the Discords. Nice touch. What I find even more surprising was that the other stuff was kept under wraps, so on, right? So I think I actually have them here as well. Like the other big pools just being... Oh, I don't. I have them somewhere. The cold foil weapons, right? The gem. The heroes I do like, but the weapons are a bit of a bummer. And like none of that came out at the world premiere either, which I find interesting, right? Because surely there was plenty of packs open there that someone would have hit the not so great Lost Treasure pools. King Shark, that is the last one. Yes, cool. So we have actually really thinned out this list, which is definitely nice. Still 3 away. So there is a chance that we cross it all off. It's kind of slimmer at this point, but there is a chance. I've seen several of those "what is this worth" posts though, and it's very disheartening, right? Someone hitting the cold foil weapon in the Lost Treasure slot, right? So again, exceedingly rare to do, but then it not really being... I mean, yeah, there's something, right? But they're not obviously comparable to the other Lost Treasures. I don't get why they put the diamond in there. That just feels like we had extra, so we needed something to pad out the numbers. Which is kind of weird. But again, I like the heroes. The heroes do feel cool. You can pull the Marvel, or you can pull the original Cold Ball heroes. Another burn bear. Missing that one cosine. Cosine will be the trickiest one to find. Oh, another Marvel. Chowder! Fortunately, that's a dupe. We have a Chowder. But Chowder's also one that I like. Because functionally, I think he's cool. Right? Being a 3-cost gain 2, at the very least. Let alone then having the 3 health body. I've not hit a Fabled, unfortunately. That's kind of a tough question. So, it should be about 6 cases, if you were to try and pull. But that would be, you know, closer to the bare minimum. Obviously, it's what? 33 Majestics, if you say they all have the same rate, right? Then you need 99 Majestics in total. Is it 33? 43. I look that up. I mean, it makes sense. I would have done 8, so we assume the Fables, you know, back to like 1 in 40. Let's see. In total, there are... Why can I not find where the number is? Because it's past the expansion slot and the Japanese pack, isn't it? No. There's 46 Majestics, right? In total, split between the expansion slot and the normal slot, which is nicer because generally their rates are the same. So we take out the expansion slot, that leaves 33. Yeah, that's where I got 33 from. So at 33, you need 99, kind of, right? Because the ammons you only need 1 of. So 99 minus, God, 18 is 81, and you should be getting 24 a case. So roughly it should take 4 cases if you have god luck to find everything. But about 6 cases to get most things with the randomness. But this will be 8 cases, and we're sort of missing stuff. I say sort of. If I include foils, this list goes way down. But the amulets and the expansion are actually what are eluding me. Because I traded Morays, I traded Chums, Jolly Ivan Foil, Planetary Ivan EA. So yeah, probably about 6 cases should mostly do the trick. Thank the heavens. This is the best pull of the day. Regardless of what we get from me. Because this just means I don't have to go looking. And I can build all the decks happily, right? So gold baited hook, finally. I have 3 dead threads, by the way. That's the other thing, the legendaries. Should be easier, but it seems to have been harder as well. Alright. This is cool. I mean, we should still find about 1 more legendary. So if it's the Codex and I get the playset, I'd also be happy with that, but yeah. Oh, God. I've got 2 sarongs as well. 2 sarongs, 3 dead threads, and then 1 of everything else at this point. Well, I think there's some people who want a gold bait hook at my local as well. So if we pull another one, I guess that would be nice for the community sense. The M rate did not increase. It technically didn't go down either, technically. But even with the cards that are short printed, there are more Majestics in this set than prize sets. So in that sense, things are harder to pull. Not by much. If my estimates of short printing is correct, which they probably won't be, then it's, it's only about, 1.5, 1.5 more Majestics than the Hunted, for reference. But yeah, it's still a slight increase. I think it was like 18% is what I worked out, which does make a difference, unfortunately, because that's 18% of more product needs to be opened, which then amounts, especially when we talk about full playsets. Jolly Bludger. What's their foil? That's another one. So yeah. Yeah, if I start counting foils, we're definitely good. Just the amulets, really. The amulets seem like the biggest pain in the ass to actually collect. Which makes me think that their short printing is even more insane. Even though they don't have a rainbow foil. Actually, something that I was thinking about and kind of wouldn't have minded is if they did short printing a bit more targetedly, right? So, for instance, all the Ranger cards, because there's multiple Rangers versus 1 Pirate Ranger. If they made them a little bit harder, not a lot, but a little bit harder, right? That might help things as well. But then it gets really, really confusing and difficult to plan out, because you have, for instance, you have Gravy, Soul Necromancer, so you can't short print those cards because he's the new one. Oh, there we go. Moray. I mean, that technically counts. And I'd like normal versions. That's another ally down. We've hit a ton of them. Yeah, that is huge variance. What is it? Spent slots are 1 in 12.5. Rainbow Falls are 1 in 18. And then normal are 1 in 5.8. So call it 1 to 6, right? So you should get, on average, 4 normal, 2 expanded slots, and 1.5 rainbow foil, right? So on average, you should be getting around 7 Majestics. Moray does look cool, but I think she's unplayable, is what I've heard. Well, not unplayable, she's just bottom of the barrel. But I really like the 3 main ones, being the 3, people next to Chum in his art. That's kind of cool. It's a nice touch. Oh, another Herald. It's also, I can understand it being a very fine line for them as well, in terms of limited. So a Majestic should be roughly, 1 every 3. Okay. So for drafting, you should be able to find a Majestic for your deck. So if they increased it and skewed it, right, then you'd have people finding a couple, some finding none, finding one, and that would make it really, really difficult. But I think we would be due for a bump to Majestics at some point. Especially because this is the point where, the development cycle should correct. So whatever the final set of the year should have, tweaks from around the hunted that were erroneous. Like, for instance, for reference, right? Hunter's Clave and the statement that we will not do that again. Obviously, the Klloo of Serakai does exactly that, but it's not as mandatory as Hunter's Clave. So it's, more forgivable. But in that sense, also, it's less common because there's no cold foil in the set, right? In the treasure pack, even. So if it was a really playable dagger, then, it'd just be a repeat. And so that type of course correction won't be apparent until from the last set of the year onwards. I suppose hitting the Marvel allies is much better than hitting young Marvels still, right? Hit the Barkeep. Beautiful. That's another one gone. So yeah, I think this was about 28 cards. I have the original list somewhere. Yeah, 28 cards, and we've cut it down to a more manageable amount. But there are still chances, right? 2 boxes left. That should be another 12-ish Majestics. Hopefully at least one more amulet. Not a given a quarter, though. One of them. That up. Ooh. It was a expensive this time. Not escalate. Well, good luck with your packs, and yeah, hopefully you get something crazy. Another return fire. Oh, yeah, no, that's right. Probably won't finish off the list at this point. Too many cards out. But it should at least be close. I'll say congrats now for a lost treasure. Hopefully. Wish you luck. Alright. Final 2 boxes. One more legendary, probably one more Marvel is the hopes. Other than that, just the gold packs. And then a whole bunch of sorting for my weekend. I think this will be the first set where I try and stay on top of it. Everything else just stays in boxes, unsorted, until I need something, and I have to spend, a good hour or so looking for the specific card. Actually, something surprised me. We've only gotten one EA as well. I feel like they should be a bit more apparent. One every 2 to 3 cases? No, one every 2 cases. Yeah. That's my mentality. Maybe one more EA as well. So far, nothing though. Actually, speaking of greats, right? Majestics are 1 and 4, so to speak. So that should, again, be that one every 3 packs, roughly. Obviously, not, it's 1 4. But it's been, slighted even more. Sorry, I'm getting tired, apparently. I don't do so well with concentration. My train of thought. There we go. Reinvigorated. cosine. That's another one crossed off. So I don't think we'll end up getting the Klloo, unless we get lucky. I mean, there should be one or two spent slot cards left. But I would expect at least something else crossed off. Right? Loan Shark's interesting. We haven't found that. Or at least one copy of Loan Shark. Yeah, it's the only currently deck that we haven't hit. Alright. King Shark, but we crossed that off already? Yep. Oh, another Cog. Don't have to be more. For reference, it's 4 copper Cogs so far in 9 boxes. With most decks, currently running around like 9 to 12. Whether or not Indian though. That's Cog bait. We'll have to wait and see. Oh. One more legendary. I suppose at this point, having everything, it'd either be, oh, there's a Sea Legs, Codex, or another Dead Threads. Be good. Oh, we've hit out 2 actually. So there probably won't actually be one more. Can probably hit gold. Now 1 in 96. Which is another rate that has steadily been increasing as well. For the Rainbow Claws, right? You go back to Outsiders, 1 in 70. Bright Lights, I think, was like 1 in 76. Go back to 1 accounts. Which I can understand the Cold Fall variants of being harder to pull. They should be the chase versions, rightfully so. But it feels like the Rainbow Claws could be, reined in a little bit. Dovetail and a Riddle. We haven't hit a single 3-pack either. I would like. Right. I just realized the expansion slot replaces the back card unless there's a double-sided token, in which case the split token. The micro token. Oh, that's nice to see. Buddy. That should be probably our last marvel. In which case the expansion slot is second from the back. We've done really well on the allies though. Like, it's telling me I should collect them. I don't want to. Alright. Almost to the last box. And then it's treasure time. We get basically just a whole bunch of what's it called? Pirate booty. Should probably organize stuff a little bit. Because they're making big piles. Oh. Because we don't need these so much. It goes Mech, Necro, generic. Oh, pirate generic. Alright. That's a little bit better. Alright, last box of the 10. Lucky Gravy. Take the gold pack side. Suppose we can low down each on this one. Yeah. We just want to get to the gold packs, right? Yeah. Oh. Hopefully the internet stays. We'll get to the gold pack. Weather is not doing us any favors. Being so frigid at the moment. Could be about our first M. Yep, look at that. I just know when it comes to the packs. And an arcane. I need to do a play mat of arcane to play. It's too beautiful of an artwork. Just sit in the little card. Any sunken treasure? No. I still just need bone sharks. Oh, another herald. That one's easy to tell because of the border. Ended up doing alright on the expansion slot. Being which, that should probably be with the expansion slot. It kind of feels like you get more expansion slot cards, actually. Count them out. Alright. There we go. Still hitting stuff off the list. Thank you. Still just need a chum, actually. He seems like he kind of be a big one. I did want to play more gravy. Oh, finally. Singular loan shark in 10 boxes. I believe I can only take it down to a 1. No. Be 2 more Majestics in this box, hopefully. Not here. Also not here. Surely at least 1 more. Nope. Nope. Well, non-expansion slots. Not a foil. Not a regular. That's a big string of nothing. So far. Oh, and that's why. It's young, right? I can tell from the little chip yellow bit. No, it's sawbones. Never mind. I think that's 2 sawbones, though. Yeah, done really well on the marbles, though. We'll go through them in a second. Finish up the last 3 packs. Hopefully at least 1 more M. Or not. Still nope. Alright. So aside from this box being absolutely terrible in terms of logistics. Oh, not my seas. Slightly salvaged? That was still on the low end. Did pretty decently on marbles. Alright. Go there. Well, at this point, it's looking like I might, right? Sawbones, Cuddy, Moray, Chowder, a Kelpie, a Swabby, so maybe even just 1 copy of each. Then I think Whaler, another Chowder. That's halfway, right? I guess it's okay. Aside from that, thank God we pulled a gold bait hook. That's the big one. Oh, that's just a poly. So he hits. Oh, let me not conflate these. Put way the back. We hit 2 legendaries in 10, and extended art. I also probably get rid of the list now. Yeah, Chum seems hard to pull in both Majestic and Marble. Weirdly. Alright, so it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We hit 7 marbles. They're 1 in 60. So we should have only hit 4. So I guess that's really nice. Did I do the math right? Yeah, 240, so 4. So we hit almost double the marble race. On rate for legendaries, minus 1-ish, right? And then I guess EAs are still just really hard to find. Which is cool. Alright. Did 1 treasure pack so far. There was a rum and a unicycle. Now we have 9 left to do. Looking wrecked. Because Chum seems very, very impactful too. Although in the right matchup, his taunt's actually kind of hard to use, I suppose. You need the first priority window. I suppose I should just chop these all in one go. You know, we'll take our time, right? These are meant to be the big hits, right? We'll do them nice and slow. Alright. First one. Another map piece. And gold. Which is fine. Well, God, I can't read. My eyes are too squinted. It's hard to tell with the circle if there's an L in there, but it's a 2 block, so nada. I mean, with 9, we should hit at least one big thing, surely. Alright, it's a cog. And still can't tell. Sorry, I need to look at this closely. No, it's not now. Another 2. Limited. So far, yeah, these are living up to their feel. But not their name. Alright. Another map piece. Another gold. Another pirates. It is a 3. There is nothing good with 2, though, for 3, right? Yeah. I suppose if this was blue? What do you want the red? Maybe actually saltwater swell is not so bad. But so far, 1 common. 3 meh. I'll take a cold foil. L, right? A Marvel Harpoon. Alright. Gold again. Another pirates. Another 3 and a 0. I mean, Murderous Rabble's probably the best, non-great hit to hit, right? So that's 1. Alright. Cog. And I tip the barkeep. That's our first M. So far, I'd say 2. 2 okay pulls. I think tip the barkeep's also, the worst M to get. Alright. Another gold. Golden tipple. That's also not a horrendous one. 3 left. 1 cold foil, please. Suppose I already hit poly, so I should be happy. right? And a cog works. Map piece, golden cog, another swell. Well, we have a chance of actually hitting the full picture, right? Because we had 10 and we've only hit 1 duplicate. Nope, we've hit 3 duplicates. Never mind. Alright, the second last. It is Cog and another pirate card. Another golden tipple. 2 tipples, 2 swells. Lucky last. Alright. It is a rum. And it is an L. I don't remember the artists. 125, so it's... Oh, it's hook. Oh, we hit 2 hooks. I guess that's actually a little bit decent. So I do have a spare hook then. But yeah, the treasure packs, I think, need to be reworked a little bit. You can have the giant pool, but the ratio, I think, needs to be changed a little bit. Because I think there's plenty of cultural commons that would still be better than a lot of the pirate stuff. But an L is an L, so that is definitely nice. I don't need a James White special, right? I have my Tectonic. I pulled myself. But we wanted a hook, we got 2. So that's really good. On that, we also get 2 rums. I think we've done fairly decently with the rums too. During they're meant to be the most difficult. So the Treasure Island cards, I think it was like 9, right? So for reference, it still means that the bottom end of the pool is 4 times larger than every other set has been, so to speak. So it's still not that great. My thought was always just, if they hit all the Majestics in the set, or heck, even just all the Pirate Majestics. Yes, but hooks seem to be needed, so it's nice to have a spare. But there's even, like, the control less, which are semi-limited, so to speak, because there's only going to be so many conditions where you control less gold. But I mean, they could have, I don't know, they could have done the pirate cards in the normal set. That kind of would have been cool. Maybe keep the Majestics in the treasure pack, move the EAs to the treasure pack, keep the all commons in the treasure pack, right? I mean, I think if the plethora of the pirate cards were in the set, actually, I think that'd feel a lot better, because you'd still have the Cold War Chase that we normally have. Obviously, be a lot downgraded, because you have all the limited stuff. The limited stuff could then also maybe be playable, depending on what slot they put it in, which would have been nice. It's I like the idea, but it's addition through subtraction, which means it doesn't get a pass, right? They took away box hits, and they filled it with a lot worse stuff. So all they've done is, move the flag post, if you will, to how much you should buy and open, which is already steadily increasing with Majestics, so a little rough. But there we go. I mean, we did fairly well. God, now I have to sort. Actually, I still have the list of what I need to hit. So we were looking for right there. Beautiful. Normal cog in the machine, which we did get. Beautiful. A give no quarter. I'm doing these in order. Yes, give no quarter. I don't think we did hit 1 charm. A moray. 2 king sharks, which I think were at the front-ish. There's 1, 2. Gold the tips, which we only hit foils, so I will have to count them, I suppose. Return fire, which I passed. We almost completed the majestic set. So we hit all the legendaries, so that's actually really nice too. Did I not pull a return fire? Be in the ranger section. Just here. Yeah, right there. Return fire. We didn't hit barrage. We hit 1 lone shark. Tip the barkeep. I think we hit 1. Nope, we hit 2. Beautiful. And then it was the amulets. Pearl and Ruby. Hitting them, I think, is the big deal because they seem really, really rough. And then expansion slot, we needed 2 cosigns and a herald. There's 1 cosign and 1 herald. So almost everything. I should probably do this backwardsly, right? So heralds, 1 codex short of the playset, but it's fine. I'm not a big fan of the art anyway. 2 cosigns. That was it. So the expansion slot's all done, which is definitely really nice. Amulet-wise, missing 3 of them, which is a little rough. Ruby's at the back, I'm pretty sure. 9-5, 9-3. Yeah. That's not so bad. That was the wrong pile to put them in. Minus touch, done. Got a ton of sea legs. Tip the barkeep. 2. Lone shark. We hit a ton of conquerors though. Oh, did I miscount? I must have miscounted because I actually have enough lone sharks. Beautiful. Return fire. Barrage is a rough one. Shark. And then the allies as well. Plenty of whalers, 1 chum. About 2 chums. I guess that's fairly decent. Doesn't feel like a 3 of, right? Array. Give it a quarter. On the water. Plug on the machine. And then just planet there. So, yeah. How many was it? 8 cases to get playsets. Right? Still missing a Jolly. What else? I think it's just Jolly. Moray. Gold the tip. Barrage. Fine. And then the amulets. So actually not too much. And then you have foils. So technically I do have the Jolly. I do have the barrage. And we pull 2 gold the tips as well. So it's not too bad. And a whole ton of conquerors. And then for anyone who's interested, the overall pulls. I hit 1 of each EA. Well, technically 2 given quarters, but I already traded 1. So that's a nice little set, right? Actually, no. The other Harpoon comes in EA as well. So we're missing 1 of them. Hit a Poly, hit a Cogworks, and a gold-baited hook for the other... Where did I put it? Where did I put it? Lost me hook. Nope. That's the token stuff. There's the normal hook. Interesting. Oh, there we go. So Poly, Klloo, I don't know if you can see. Poly is unfortunately scuffed. Very, very slightly, but still. There seems to have been a few of these cases of just a white dot. Mine's not so bad. I've seen a poly where the white dot's in the middle. The poly, hook, and the tinkerings. Marlin for a marvel, along with a whole bunch of allies, including 2 whalers, 2 chowders, Moray, Swabby and Kelpie, Sawbones, and a Cuddy. I think Sawbones is a nice one to have as well. I can go with the Marvels, probably behind Marlin. And for just general legendaries, hit a poly, hit a hook, hit 3 dead threads, hit 2 sarongs, and tinkerings. EAs can go behind them. Then we have many, many unicycles as well. We really didn't get a spread of Cold War commons, which is kind of unfortunate since, you know, there's 14 different ones to find. Although a lot of them are not great, right? They're rehashes of stuff that already exists with slight tweaks. The Swift Strike Bracer, just because they're above rate, especially for something like Project Blue or, you know, Commoner, is definitely nice. Rust Bounce, not so much. Unicycle, again, just seems standout because you don't really have anything else going on with the legs aside from action point generation. So the Battle Worn and then the Cog is kind of nice. And then a whole bunch of just the gold foil pirate cards, right? Standout being a Murderous Rebel. Tip, the Tipple's probably decent. We didn't do so bad on the expeditions though, which is kind of nice. And I don't like the red Charter Course so much. But the fact that blue and yellow is +3 is kind of cool, right? 1 expedition, 2 expeditions. Although the expeditions do look really nice. Like, I wouldn't mind trying to find a set of the expeditions. Not a play set, but like a, you know, there's 4, right? An art set. Wells, mutinies. I guess the sloop is also nice. I don't think Swindler's Grift gets played, right? Because you want to go again. Standout art-wise, I think D4 Salvage looks really nice. Too bad it didn't just have like 1 extra thing to go with it to make it comparable to Sunken Treasure. So not too bad. And then just a whole bunch of rum, gold, and cogs, right? 3 rums? 3 rums. 3 rums, lots of cogs. It made it seem like the rum would be, you know, impossible to find. Maybe not impossible, but harder than what it was. It seems like there's plenty of rums to go around. It seems like these are basically proportional, right? So you'll probably only ever have 1 rum. You probably have, you know, 3 plus cogs, maybe. So if you want, well, you have to have separate tokens because the tap mechanic. And then a ton of the treasure. If you want to, you know, use a token apiece rather than die or anything like that. But there we go. That is the last of my high seas. Definitely a nice set. Artwork-wise and mechanically. But we will leave it there then. So, anyone hanging around or watching posts, thanks as always. Other than that, see you next week for probably just games at this rate, right? Yeah, unless there's, you know,